Good evening. Well, this is a pleasant surprise. We are so excited that you all came out to join us tonight. This is our very first Tourism on Tap. My name is Lindsay James, and I am the Executive Director for Visit Mason City. Our mission is to promote Mason City and the surrounding area as a destination for visitors. So we do that through a variety of marketing initiatives that really tend to highlight our architecture and our unique history. Recently, we have started incorporating more outdoor recreation into our marketing. COVID was a big factor in that, and we've seen great results as a result of that. So tonight we're here to talk about the exciting new developments that we have taking place in our community. Lots of great outdoor recreation initiatives going on, and I'm excited to introduce Aaron Burnett, City Administrator, to talk about some of those developments and the city's investment in promoting or creating outdoor recreation for us to promote.
Well, this is awesome. I'm really glad I get to present this idea in front of you guys and what we're developing here. This is just such an exciting time to lead a project like this. It's been exciting. Where am I going? I'm going this way. Steve-O. Should I go? There we go. I'll do puppet show next. All right. All right, it's not going to feedback. So just really cool developments happening in Mason City, especially around outdoor recreation. This is a fantastic time to talk about all of the great things we've got coming, as you can see, coming soon. Single track trail areas. I will tell you, I'm a total novice to this area. Steve and all of my good friends that took me out for the first time had to explain what a single track trail was. But so much fun and a great reason for people to come and visit Mason City. You'll hear more about that in a second. I won't take all Steve's thunder. I promised I wouldn't talk about it too much. I'll let the bike people talk about those bike things. Large bike park area. This is really exciting. Really just a jewel that's being created there. Again, I won't talk about that. I'll let Steve talk about that. But multiple connector sections and pedestrian bridge. We've got so many great trails that are a little bit disconnected. We've got just a little stretch that needs to connect those places together, whether it's a Prairieland Trail not coming all the way into Mason City, or whether it's along the river where you have to kind of hop off the trails and you can't get from one area to the next. What we're doing is putting a connection in those places, whether it's along Murphy Park, which is right next to the Winnebago, or up near the Prairieland Trail, where you can now get to from the trolley trail all the way out to the Prairieland Trail. So that'll be fantastic. If you don't know where that is, come find me. We'll show you a map. We'll tell you exactly where it is. But a great development. And so many trail side amenities. Brian Pauly is going to talk about bouldering, but we are, which if you don't know what that is, he'll tell you all about it. But that is a great development. Also talking about education and environmental pieces that'll be along those trails, telling our history and also inviting people to spend a little time along our trails. The County Trail Connection Link, this is a great collaboration also just across North Iowa. It's not just Mason City. We're working with Clear Lake, we're working with the county. We have the south of Clear Lake. You'll notice there's some work that's starting around there to connect that south side to make that more bike friendly. And also we have work happening down in Thornton that'll be part of this Destination North Iowa project to improve the RV park down there, making it more user friendly. So just really exciting developments. I'll let Lindsay advance the slide here. So project goals. Create mountain bike trail network and destination bike park for local residents and visitors alike. So this idea really came together thanks to the bike community here in North Iowa. They put the work together, they put a master plan together and put this in front of me, and I was able to help write that grant and secure these funds to make this a reality. $4.5 million brought in grant revenue for a total project of about $12 million. Just to show you the size of investment that's happening here. Keep your eyes open, look for what's happening, get informed because it's truly exciting to be part of this. We're leveraging Bike Park and Trail Network as tourist attraction. the idea was to really focus on bringing people in. That's why it's Tourism on Tap. That's why we're talking about how we bring visitors to the community. And then provide trails and elements of varying degrees of difficulty, really trying to make it be a part of everyone that comes to North Iowa, whether you're somebody who has as little talent as I do on a bike or somebody who's as talented as these fine gentlemen. And really just leaning into the Mason City brand, telling our story, promoting healthy and active lifestyle. Really, outdoor recreation is one of those things that we are very proud of, and I think that we can continue to develop as a community. So I want to make sure that I cover everything I had on my list here. I think one of the things I didn't mention here is the pedestrian bridge that's actually going over Murphy Park. So that area will allow, if you're over in the Muse Norris softball area, you'll actually be able to take a pedestrian bridge over the Winnebago that'll take you over to Illinois, making it really safe for our students and allow people to stay along the Winnebago. So with that, I will hand it off to Steve. See you next. Oh, Steve and Matt. Fearsome too soon.
So, does everybody here know about our trail system that we currently have? We have about 2 miles of trail system out there. It's a super fun time. Matt, myself, and our families have traveled all over the U.S. Riding mountain bike trails. And we always had this dream of doing something in Mason City. So we scrounged up a little bit of money and we built like a half a mile of trail with a conglomeration of a lot of people. We got to build a half mile of trail. That got traction going, and then we got a grant through Mason City Clinic, and we had a professional trail builder come, which allowed us to get about 2 miles worth of trail out there, which kind of springboarded this idea of creating a bike park. So a bike park is something that is very unique to the state of Iowa. It's actually very unique to our region. So these are kind of some features of a bike park. This is a park track. This is a hub of a bike park. So what a bike park is a place for you to kind of congregate and session the same thing over and over and over. And it gives you a different experience with different trails. It's super fun. Aaron's worked with the grant, and we got this funding, and we get to make this happen. So it's really exciting. Want to hit the next slide?
I'm going to come over to this other side. All right, so this is the bike park. The grant that we got has a lot of pieces to it. The biggest piece of it is what we call the bike park. That's the focal point. That's our main thing that is really going to bring a lot of people here. So there's a couple in like Fayetteville, Arkansas, Bentonville area. These are concrete ramps, pump tracks. And it's progressive, so anybody can ride it. That's the key. You know, when you think about a bike park, a lot of people are like looking it up on Google and like, well, I'm not going to ride that. There's just huge jumps. It is, but everybody, including little guys like Lincoln over here, will have a place that they can ride their bike in this bike park area. And that's the cool thing about it. It's really family oriented. It really draws a lot of people because your family can come. I know Lindsay traveled with her family, really not a mountain bike family. They went down to a very similar thing down in Fayetteville, and from what I understand, they had a fantastic time. So it really does cater to a lot of different ability levels, and I want to make sure everybody understands that. This is not just being built for the extreme mountain biker. This is built for everybody, and it really is to help people develop their skills. So if you look at this overview map, this is north of the dog park. So the dog park is right here, the current dog park, and we have a current trail entrance. Some of that stuff might change, but the big thing that we're looking at here, parking space here, the main pump track, ramp area over here, like a beginner area, some different trails that connect to the community to allow access for residents, potential, everything's a potential, everything's a concept at this point. But this is the idea. So another trail here that would come over and go over the viaduct over 13th Street? I call it 12th. Everybody calls it 12th Street. They go over the viaduct and come back down. That won't actually connect into the current trail system, but just allow easier access, safer access rather than crossing Elm Drive there. So The big thing here, shelter house, and then what we talked about in the other picture where they were talking about the hubs. So a couple different hubs where they're elevated to get some speed and drop into the bike park, and then you have a lot of different routes that you can go, and potentially flowing off into our existing trails as well. So that's going to be the future plan. We probably won't see any progress until 2025. I think is probably safe on that one. See maybe by the end of 2024. So yeah, so next summer potentially seeing some stuff going on with this. Next slide.
So there are going to be about 3 things that we're trying to focus on that are going to be going out to bid here in the next couple of weeks. So for many of us, we don't know how this process really works. And I had no idea how this process works. So we came up with this idea and we're like, sweet, a month later, can we start building trails? It definitely doesn't work that way. We're using federal money, and we have a fantastic civil engineer company that we're working with that is doing a lot of the design process and the permitting and all of the stuff with flood zones and all of that stuff that none of us actually think about. That's all of the process, and it's been in the process for about 6 months now, and it's been enlightening for us to see that process. But these are 3 trail systems that we might be able to see break ground this year. You know, we're hoping. So the Marston's Trail, which is just south of the kayak launch on the south side of the river right now, there's a really cool opportunity for just about, was it like a half mile of trail or 3/4 of a mile of trail that's just right off of the paved trail that's existing right along the Winnebago. The next one, which I'm really excited about, is the Riverhawk Single Track Trail. So that's going to be a single track trail system behind the high school with the grant that the high school got for their, what's it called, outdoor pursuits. Their outdoor pursuits class, they got 30 bicycles, so we need to give them an opportunity to ride those bikes just right in the backyard of the school, which is really cool. And then an untapped thing that many of us have ridden for years or walked for years is Evans Preserve. And Evans Preserve is a gem. I don't know if you guys know where that's at. It's off of Birch Drive. It's behind the condos, townhouses. There's a fantastic set of woods, but it's marshy, and I think we have a slide with some of that on there, don't we? Talk a little bit about that. So Backyard Trails is kind of an advisor for this project. Ken Barker came up with a trail design for Evans Preserve, and there's going to be boardwalks, there's going to be a couple lookouts, there's going to be some hubs, some really cool trail entrances. There's going to be a parking lot that's off of Illinois, so you can park and just ride that area right there. It's going to be really cool, and I'm really excited about that. I think we're all really excited about that. Do you want to go back to Martin's? So Martin's so the Winnebago is right here, and the current bike path, the concrete bike path is right here. So it's going to break off into the hillside, and it's going to provide a lot of elevation and a really good opportunity for some berms and potential features. I think one of the goals was to have like 10 to 15 features every 100 feet in this project. So it's going to be super fun. It should be really engaging and really exciting for the riders. You want to talk about Riverhawk?
What you went?
Yeah, the Riverhawk. I think that's.
This is Riverhawk right there.
Oh, okay. I see. So Riverhawk, Mason City High School, John Adams. We got the ball diamonds over here. There'll be what we call a gateway entrance up here. You can kind of see this purple outline here, but there'll be like a gateway entrance. And that's one of the cool things is this is all going to be very unified. The starts of every trail will have what they call a gateway. So it'll be very well identified from the side of when you're driving by, and then also a place for us to gather with maps and wayfinding. So that's one of the big things for riding different areas that I've always been disappointed is the wayfinding portion of it, and being able to find your way around town, finding the maps and have it make sense. And so that's one thing that ISG has worked very hard on, is trying to make this very unified and have a very consistent flow to everything. So gateway here on this end. This will be a very simple trail, partially because we have a lot of floodway issues here. This is a very high flood zone area. So that's going to limit a little bit what they can do back there, but then also because it needs to be a very easy, beginner-friendly trail system for the students to use. So there won't be a lot of big features, but a very good beginner area to introduce kids into mountain biking, create some fun. And the idea is to have an out and back here, so they'll come all the way up to the highway and then spin back around. So you'll have about probably a mile and a half, a mile and 3/4 of trail system, which is really good for kids to be able to do loops and come back on with two-way traffic and really help hone those skills.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's not nice. So I think that's kind of what we were here to talk about. Brian, do you want to talk about this? Aaron, do you want to jump back?
Well, okay, 1 second. Sorry. So keep in mind, this is a huge project. This is way beyond anything that we've ever believed would happen in Mason City, Iowa. A lot of this started because of volunteers. North Iowa Human Power Trails. Mick Myers is here. He's our president. A lot of the volunteer people that are here, and I want to thank everybody that has got this project started. Please give them a big round of applause. And so with that said, everybody get your phone out, like North Iowa Human Power Trails, and follow along. There'll be lots of great volunteer opportunities coming up with this. It's going to require a lot of our hands. We're going to hire professionals. If you're a mountain biker, you may know names like, we don't know who it's going to be, but a name like Rock Solid, and Progressive Trail Designs. So just keep that in mind. This is going to be a huge project with a lot of heavy hitters in there, but there will be opportunities for volunteers as well.
Can you say our website again, please?
North Iowa Human Power Trails.
Facebook group.
Yeah, Facebook
Oh,
group.
Facebook.
Yep.
Thank you.
And I'm sure they'll be doing a lot of updating too as the progress comes along, and you can follow along with what's going on. Now, Brian Pauly.
I'll be speaking about a couple recreational opportunities that will continue the buzz of recreational enhancements we've seen over the last couple of years. With the multi-purpose arena, with the winter sports, but coming up this week, there's going to be 2 more announcements of national acts, along with Justin Moore coming in. The enhancements to the principal pavilion and having that Friday night on the plaza type entertainment in our downtown. And not to mention all of the other great things that Matt and Steve and Aaron all touched on. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is bouldering. And if you don't know what bouldering is, that is an opportunity for people to rock climb without any protective equipment. It is actually vertical rock climbing on boulders or rocks. It's about anywhere from 8 to 10 feet high. This is very popular, and this is going to be installed right next to the new trail system our enhanced trail system along the Winnebago River. So it gives the people that are doing the mountain biking or the kayaking, which I'll touch real fast on, an opportunity to stop what they're doing there and then actually get off of their activity to explore a different way and give themselves a quick breather on that. The nice thing is this is going to feature about 3 to 4 rocks, large rocks, but then also they're going to have multiple smaller and medium rocks for all ages, so this is going to be a family-friendly bouldering park that we're talking about. The other thing I talked about was kayaking, and big props with the initiative from our operation and maintenance department that has taken initiative that has removed the 3 low-head dams on the Winnebago River, making it very easy to navigate up and down the river. They're completing that second one in East Park, and that's going to include a second kayak launch, new kayak launch, which is located just on the south side of the Winnebago River, down by the shelter houses. We just got done completing another kayak launch on the north side of the river that is going to be part of our nationally recognized McNider campground. So it's going to give our visitors another chance and have access on the north side of the river too. So it's just going to complete that whole waterway system, letting it, easily being able to navigate it up and down the river. I will be here to answer any questions about that stuff afterwards, and I'd like to turn it over for some brief comments for Dr. Schultz. Schurz, sorry. Oh.
Sure, and then, yeah, thank you.
You're on deck.
Sorry guys, I gotta jump in here. I was told I was doing the Riverwalk too, so real quick, the Riverwalk, if you haven't seen this concept, it's very cool. Berglund and Cram has just done a fantastic job with the concept. It actually is part of the Iowa Great Places Initiative that we received funding for this project, and then also as part of the Destination Iowa. The intent of the Riverwalk is really to create a heart of downtown, to really kind of create a place for people to gather. It's their park as an urban park, as a downtown park, but yet with a strong nature component and ability to be in nature while still being in a park setting. So if you get a chance, look at the concepts. If you want, we have more concepts you can look at. This is under design. We're getting ready to get this out to bid very soon. Very, very exciting. Trying to create an environment for all stakeholders to really feel welcome, and whether it's take a stroll, take a minute after an event, or if you live downtown, just a second to sit in nature, really something for all people in that area. So taking what is otherwise an area that we as Mason City have turned away from, and instead activating it and making it what it could possibly be. It's also, what's up? Where is it? Well, let me tell you, Steve. Good. So the Riverwalk, I guess I do this all the time, so I know exactly where it is. But the Riverwalk is just south of the arena. So if you imagine that where the River Apartments is, it's just to the north of that, along the edge of the Willow Creek. And really is kind of in the heart of everything that's being developed in the downtown. When you think about the fact that we've added 136 units just there, and then another almost 100 units of multifamily being added to the west of that, and all the upper story development that is just so gorgeous from all of our developers downtown. This will be their park. It's really walkable for all of our visitors and all of our residents. So that's where it is. And then just lastly, the idea is when people come and visit Mason City and they enjoy all these great outdoor recreation opportunities, we want to give them a chance. This is kind of the photo op along with the bike park, is when you come to the downtown, when you visit the Stockman House, when you visit the Frank Historic Park Inn, and all of the other great things that we have in Mason City, and you're part of this community visiting Fat Hill, you'll be able to also have this as an opportunity, a chance to take a selfie along the Willow Creek there. So truly fantastic. Stay tuned. There's so much exciting happening with this, and a huge thanks to Berglund and Cram because they've done a fantastic job on deciding this. With that, now we talk about the Willow Creek Master Plan. Sorry for the false start.
Thank you. I'm kind of a little add-on tonight. This only came up just before the program started. But in conjunction with the Riverwalk, the River Plan, Willow Creek Master Plan 2020 proposed a group, a volunteer group called Friends of Willow Creek. It really is a volunteer group to maintain along the riverbank from Monroe to Delaware, and predominantly Monroe to the new Riverwalk project. Basically, once or twice a year, cleaning up trash, taking out invasive species. The city will do all the heavy work with removing trees, things like that. We are in search of and in really need of a leader for this. We have lots of volunteers. We've on and off for a year and a half been trying to find somebody that will say, I will take this on once or twice a year to do a little cleanup activity. We have a whole list of volunteers, but not a leader. So if you're interested in leading this, it's not a big deal. Let me know. I think as this project, the Riverwalk, develops, I think it's really going to help the beautification of it. And it's not a big project. So that's all.
Well, thank you, everybody who presented, and thank you again to everyone for coming tonight.